Hello friends, welcome to Tebbo's World Recipes. Today, we bring you a very special and classic French dessert. It's called the Thousand Leaves Cake or Mille-Feuille. In 1651, François Pierre La Varenne published the recipe for this cake in the first cookbook for French cuisine. Then later that recipe was perfected by Marie-Antoine de Carême, and then that's when the puff pastry and the cream is introduced. Nowadays you can find it in many varieties with berries, caramel, chocolate pieces, etc. We're gonna make a classic version of this cake, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, so let's get cooking. The ingredients we're gonna need are 2 sheets of puff pastry, 6 egg yolks, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 2 cups of milk, 3.5 ounces of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and for our glaze, 2.5 ounces of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1/4 cup of sliced almonds. We're going to start by preparing our puff pastry. We're going to start stretching it. We want it to be like 1/8 of an inch thick. Once we stretch it, we're going to roll it up. And we're going to put it on a cookie tray with some parchment paper. We're going to poke it with a fork because we don't want it to puff too much. We're going to cover it with another sheet of parchment paper and put another tray on top. Then it's going to go into the oven for 15 minutes or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. While our puff pastry's in the oven, we're going to use a little bit of our milk for our cornstarch. And we're going to make a slurry. Now we're going to add the rest of our milk to a pot. We're going to add our vanilla, and we're going to heat at medium-low until it starts boiling. We need to make sure it's incorporated real well. Once the milk starts boiling, we're going to remove it from the heat. In a bowl, we're going to add our egg yolks. And we're going to start mixing. We're going to add their sugar. And we're going to start preparing our base for our custard. We're going to add our slurry. And once our milk has cooled down, we're going to start to add it slowly, as we don't want our eggs to curd. We're going to continue mixing, and once it's ready, we're going to return it to the pot. And we're going to go at medium-low heat again, stirring constantly until our custard is set. It's going to take a little bit of time, but you're going to see that it's going to start thickening. Once our custard has thickened, We're going to remove it from the heat. We're going to transfer it to a glass container. It looks a little bit lumpy, but don't worry. We can always add a little bit more milk. I'm going to spread it around and cover it with some plastic film. And this is going to go to the fridge. We don't want it to create a crust. Now our puff pastry is ready. Right now our custard is ready and our puff pastry is ready. So before we start assembling our 1,000 leaves cake, it's a perfect time for you to click on subscribe to our channel. If you want to know when new videos are coming, click on the bell to get notifications so you don't miss anything. Leave us your comments and let us know if you want for us to try any recipes. Also, at the end of this video, don't forget to give us a like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And now, let's finish assembling our cake. Now, we're going to take our puff pastry sheets and we're going to cut the edges to make them square. We need 3 levels for our 1,000 leaves cake. We're going to measure and in my case I baked 2 puff pastry sheets so I can get 3 layers. For decorating, I have some slivered almonds that I'm going to toast for a few minutes. And once they're toasted, we're going to set them to the side. Now to prepare our glaze, I'm going to use my 2 tablespoons of milk with our powdered sugar, and we're going to mix. And this is the consistency we want. Now we're going to take our first layer of puff pastry, and we're going to cover it with our custard. I added a little bit of extra milk to my custard after taking it out of the fridge and mix it real well to make it more luscious. Once we do that, we're going to add the second level. We're going to add more custard. And the last layer, we're going to put it backwards so we get the flat side on top. We're going to cover it with our glaze. We're going to spread it all over. And then the traditional way of decorating, I melted my chocolate and we're going to pour some lines all across. You can do as many lines as you want. Then taking a wooden pick, we're going to drag the lines on one direction first, and then we're going to go the other way. Next, we're going to put our almonds on the side, and then we're going to take our cake to the fridge for at least 1 hour. And just like that, our 1,000 leaves cake, or Mille-Feuille, is ready. It looks great. Let's try it. it's a game of textures. The custard is delicious, and with the almonds and the puff pastry, it goes really well. It's one of my favorites, even though I gotta admit I'm not the greatest in decorating. You should give this recipe a try, and I'll see you next time.